everyone. Ashanti Titus here. I am here, like I said, with one of the heavy hitters, Miss Isis Brantley. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm ringing my takeaway and thanking your ancestors for being so obedient and thanking the ancestors of everyone that's watching and thanking my ancestors, of course. So I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. For those of you who do not know, Isis Brantley, she is an activist. She is a healer, mother of five. This woman has single handedly changed the law in the state of Texas on a Senate and the federal level. And she is also a part of our film Natural Hair the Movie, which, as you guys know and follow, man, her part, I think it definitely took the film to another level because she's just so tenacious and unapologetic about who she is and what she stands for. This is Miss Isis Brantley, y'all. So, Isis, one of the things you came out in Dallas to the Angelica Theater when we had the screening, and you said something that has stuck with me, and I don't think I'm ever going to forget it. You said that take your pain, bottle it, and sell it. Do you remember when you told me that?
I think I do. It was me. It was me. It was, yeah, it was one of my me's. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I want to know. Main thing, your thing is economic liberty. We won't give too much of your story away, but if you want to kind of tell the people, how you single handedly changed the law in the state of Texas.
I did what you said. I took my pain and I bottled it up. I bottled it up and I got people on my team to help sell it to Texas regulation of licensing. I was able to go through the fire and come out unscathed, arrested by 7 cops and taken to jail for braiding. It just put me on a whole different level. Mother of 5 children, activist for women, an advocate for economic liberty and the right to work. Got out, had to get a lawyer, had to win 2 cases. The first case, get a lawyer and have a trial, be found guilty, pay a fine, go through the fire some more, and basically was able to stand up because my lawyer said don't run. She was like, okay, go back to work, because they put an injunction on the shop, closed it down. Kids and I became homeless, found some place to stay, and then got the lawyer, and basically she was like, go back. And that's when it all became clear to me that I have the right to stand up and I have the right to fight. So in 2007, I was grandfathered in. They used through the hearings we had, they used my curriculum to create a curriculum. And that's when people had to pay the 35, get 35 hours and pay whatever they were charging to take, I guess, I don't know, a class that they didn't offer in the schools. Just they had the curriculum written down. So I guess they thought that was enough. That went on for from 97 up until 2007. Then 2007, they said, oh, you can't teach. No, you can't teach braiding unless you become a barber. It's like, that's weird. I'm not a barber. I don't use sharp instruments. So why? So I had to get another lawyer for that. And that's where, when the Institute for Justice came in, and I met with them and they were interested in the story. And it was like, that's unconstitutional. You have the right to work and teach the next generation. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. So I stood on the front line, had 50 or more sisters on the front line with me, but in Dallas, they were threatened by the police knocking on their doors in their apartments, people telling them they were going to go to jail like me, schools with my picture from being arrested, showing them that you don't want to be like this lady, stay away from her. So a lot of that went on, and basically they kind of left the front line. But I had to stand up and use my pain to create a whole different shift in natural hair for our city and state. And It freed a lot of people, took a lot of people off of welfare. When we won the case in 2015, it allowed people to feel safe within their own identity and their own culture. So that's it. And we got more to do.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. And I was seeing some of your stories. I mean, you literally were taking women who were homeless, giving them a skill to earn for themselves so they can be self
I
sufficient.
did.
You,
I thought it was,
you know,
it was easy for me to say, you don't have to be on the streets. Let me show you what I'm doing. Take them in my little humble abode and show them how to two-strand twist, how to braid, how to work with natural hair without extensions, how to use products that would help the client's hair grow. And they caught on like that because it's in our DNA. They caught on like that. So we made a lot of entrepreneurs in Dallas just by sharing the information, the knowledge. Yeah, education is important.
yes, and that's the thing. And one of the things that people don't realize, because they're like, other groups of people can't teach us how to do our
Mm-hmm.
hair. Our hair is, like you said before, is the ancient hair on the planet, was here first.
Yes.
And when people go to cosmetology school, we're not learning, like, the pretty much the essence of this. And one of the things that really, what I found really appalling and that was really upsetting to me about this whole thing, was the fact that the state took your curriculum,
And copied it. Yeah. Well,
copied it, and
mhm.
go ahead.
That's what they do. Everybody take our curriculums and they copy it. Everywhere we go on the planet, everyone is copying our essence. We have to know that we rock. That's why we have to stand up. There's no guessing about, should I listen to the ancestors and take this call? No, you have to take the call. They stole the curriculum. Many of the people that I was training already were very upset because they paid $700 to $1,000 to go for the 35-hour curriculum, which was my curriculum, but no one was there to teach it. So they didn't understand component, and they didn't understand the what makes up the structure of hair. They understand porosity. They didn't understand anything about sanitation. They understood nothing. So they still came and paid for my class, and I thank them for that. All of you that are ISIS certified, I thank you for standing up during that time by patronizing something that they knew was more valuable and could take them to the next level as entrepreneurs. And that gave me more energy to keep the school alive. It didn't matter whether I carried the school on my back to Tennessee or California, or whether I had a little building where I was still teaching the art of ancestral braiding. It's sad because nobody in history, not in the last, let's just say, 100 years, said to the policymakers of cosmetology in America, there's no place for me. You didn't create this curriculum or this agency with me in mind. But let me show you. My hair spirals like my DNA. I don't grow hair like you do. I want to use my fingers like my ancestors and just work with my hands naturally. I'm not interested in using my hands for chemicals. Nobody ever said this formula, this equation does not fit me. You cannot take a sheep with tightly textured hair to an elephant school. An elephant can't teach a sheep how to be a sheep. Nobody ever said, I am melanated with spirals and curls and woolly texture. This curriculum is not conducive for what I want to teach my babies. I want to teach them how to love themselves, how to love their hair. I want to instill something great and leave something great with them. So they didn't understand, I'm not interested in your sodium hydroxide. Whoever is, I praise you for that because this is our industry. All of it is our industry, every bit of it. The wigs, the sodium hydroxide, the misconception, the non integrity, the morals that we're bringing as natural Lisas. We're bringing the natural spiral, the curl that is the same energy in the universe. We're bringing that back. No reason to be mad. We all knew they weren't teaching us braiding in cosmetology schools. We knew that they weren't teaching locking and techniques that were indigenous of African people, but no one said anything.
Uh, I just wanted to say, number one, first and foremost, being a person that stands up when everyone else is getting along is not easy. Not even by the farthest stretch, but a lot of people benefit, you know, from that. So I just want to say, on behalf of us, as you know, we support you and thank you for standing up, because if you didn't, these regulations and everything would still be in place. You know,
Mhm.
I remember being in middle school and in high school, and there were, everybody had like the neighborhood braiders and things like that, and people, were kind of jealous of this one girl that was making money, and they would
Mhm.
tell on her for braiding, and I thought that was so insane. I'm just like, what is she doing?
Mhm.
That's wrong or illegal, and but the fact that you question the fact, like, this doesn't pertain to us, like
Yes,
this part. So why are we even following these rules if we don't fit?
exactly, baby. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
thank you
And
for.
we do it. We do it because we're socially programmed to do it. We don't understand why we cover our hair. We don't understand how the ancestors had to use leftover dishwater liquid, the dishwater that was left over just to condition our hair. We don't understand using bacon grease on our hair. We don't understand using Crisco to press our hair. We don't understand how this legacy became tainted and how it shifted to Dutch braids and French braids and European style braids. We don't understand that because we were not allowed in this country to be seen with braids and twists and locks and beautiful afros. That was not accepted in America at all. And that's where your politicians and those that were Pan African fighters, those that stood on the front line, like Marcus Garvey, Helen Barrows, there were fighters like us out there saying this is not right. Take the kinks out of your mind, but not your hair. And
Yes.
the things that we have to pass down. We're now the educators. We have to create our schools. We have to create our schools. We have to create the ideal school for a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old. So when they're around other nationalities, they don't look at themselves as being the odd one or the crazy one or the unprofessional one or the out of place one. Who does that? You came for me. I gave birth to all hair. I am a black girl that rock. That's what they have to know. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, Isis, you have your school, which is the Institute for Ancestral Breeding.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one of the things that you said, that this business is about integrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that, because you do have people who are practicing, natural hair care and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I saw that you said, we have to start policing ourselves. Can you kind of like hit on that a little bit about what you mean by that?
Yeah, we are always looking for other department of regulations to regulate us. Why do you need permission from someone else to do the right thing? It is important that we teach our people about sanitation because I think we forgot. And in my school, that's one of the things we talk about because even during slavery, there were a lot of infestations on our scalps. Even when Madam C.J. Walker came along, she talked about the creams that she created for scalps that were infested with ringworm and seborrhea and psoriasis, those types of things. We don't need anybody to teach us how to be clean, but we need to remind ourselves that we have to continue education so that we won't forget what a shaft looks like, what hair roots look like, what's connected to hair roots, what a follicle looks like, how you notice it when you're braiding your hair and you can see the little white bulb that's sitting out poking at you. We don't need the permission slip of anyone to teach us sanitation. And so the school that I represent, which is the school of my ancestors, the school of my legacy as Malinke Mandingo from the tribe of those that led the art of kinky curly curly hair. This is what we're teaching, the cultural aspect of it. Why do we need the culture? Because we need to understand we didn't come into this world as little babies hating our hair. Somewhere that inferior seed has been planted in our
Right.
psyche. So we teach the truth about how the different tribes revered ancestral hair, ancestral braiding, African braiding. We also teach everybody to understand the patterns. There's so many different patterns, curl patterns, textures. So we go deep. We teach how to eat to live. A lot of us with beautiful wake up and go hair, we have issues underneath. Just open the hair up and look at the scalp, and you
Mhm.
can see all the toxins on the scalp. This is stuff that people don't want to talk about. They got the beautiful hair, they're good for, the magazine, but they're suffering. Their
Mhm.
blood is toxic. They don't understand how to eat for your beauty. What herbs help the blood, help
Mhm.
to clean the blood. We teach about the herbs, and I give these herbs to the people and have them to research. We talk about um, the 6 components that make up the composition of hair. The same thing Mother Earth needs to keep her earth clean and pure. It's better now with the oxygen in the air. The rivers are happy, the air is happy. Our hair is the same thing. It's antennas. This is how we communicate with the Most High. If our scalps are toxic, we are not well at all. I don't care how much hair you see on the side. Inside, we're dying. So we have to deal with those things. The natural sebum. How do you keep natural sebum? Well, you can't be eating a bunch of sugar. That's for sure.
Mhm.
And so these are the things that the school teaches because this is the education that our children never got. If
Right.
we understand that God live in our hair from 1 years old, oh my God, just give them a mirror. It's enough. But we are on the social programming, the mental illness side. Your
Mhm.
hair is nappy. Oh, I can't do her hair. I don't know how to braid. I'm looking at my stats from this showing today, from this interview, and only 4 or 5 people like it. I think only 4 or 5 people know that people are coming here because of the economy of natural hair, and the braiding is taking off in Texas.
Mhm.
Not because it just is, but because someone paved the way. I give thanks to all the mothers, all the matriarchs, all the ones that have paved the way. We forget the ancestors are watching us,
Yeah.
and we have to do right. Integrity, morality, we have to have those things. And we have to have virtue. And most of all, gratitude. We can't fuss and fight with each other. Okay, you want me to have the same regulations as you were required. All animals are not the same, so they don't require the same thing. All plants grow differently, they don't all need water. So that's how I feel. Let's be lighthearted about this and come together and really build our economy collectively. Let's come together. You bring your filmmaking, awesome filmmaking and
Thank you.
story to the people because you're leaving us with something. And everybody else can bring what they bring. If it's your products, if it's your gift with cornrowing, whatever it is, if it's your singing, if it's your poetry, bring your goods to the marketplace so you
Right.
can be blessed and bless others. Because it's not just about us.
Yeah. For sure. And you answered the question that I was going to ask when we talked about before, because I had a couple of people. I mean, one lady, I never met her before in my life, but we were in Atlanta. We were at the booth, we were at the Bronner Brothers
Mm-hmm.
show,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just like all upset. She was like, "Oh, this natural hair stuff." She was just like, "Everybody can't, that claims to do natural hair can't do natural hair, and they should have the same regulations that, we have." And I was just like, "Whoa, like, wait a minute, like first off, I'm not a cosmetologist, and despite, you know, but like you said, like you said something about getting everybody on the same page. Is that kind of tie into it? How do we do that? You
It
know,
does. It ties into it because we're artists. You have a gift, and you have to look inside of you to cultivate that gift. You can't be jealous of someone else's gift. And the thing about natural hair, sit down and you learn the story about natural hair. We're not in the industry to say you need to follow the standards of Great Britain and Paris and whomever. No, I'm going to follow the curriculum and the standards and beauty of my own ancestors. So saying that people can't do natural hair and everyone can't do natural hair, oh my God, are you born with natural hair? Then it's time to learn how
mm-hmm.
to love natural hair. That's the most important thing, and how to pass it down to the next generation so we won't be the only animals on the planet are humans saying, I don't know how to do my hair. Who does that? You don't see the Asians doing that, nor do you see the Jewish community doing that. You don't see people saying what we say. So let's not say those things. We are where we are because our ancestors, they shed blood for us. We are where we are because they gave of themselves to us. And we're asking them to give us the courage to stand, to promote natural essence.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the earth, it is saying, look, I'm creating a new man in this new COVID. Go inside and clean yourself up. And with natural hair, that's important. Some people are born with natural hair, but inside they may not have a natural spirit. And I understand that. Natural hair does not need the same thing as hair that breaks down straighter. Natural hair will not be infested with lice. Natural hair is from the ancestors. It is connected to the spirit of the trees, connected to the spirit of cotton. Our hair feels like cotton. So, the most important thing when people say that we should have the same requirements, that's weird because there are no requirements. What do you create the requirements? What are the requirements? You don't go to school for 1,500 hours to learn to be clean.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
in Dallas, in Texas, in Dallas alone, when I was going through my case, I heard a lot of dirt on the state about cleanliness.
Mm-hmm.
And thousands of salons and barbers in Dallas alone have been fined for sanitation violations over the last 20 years. Not one braiding shop or
Wow.
braiding kitchen or house has been fined. So when they say that, I'm saying, okay, we're coming from a whole different perspective. It's
There you
called
go.
Alkebulan. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Nubian. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Mali tribe, the Mandingo tribe, the Maasai tribe. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about that because we are descendants of that. True, we need to do more with sanitation on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
I want to unite with the cosmetology board of cosmetology. I want to unite with them because they need to know too that the first cosmetologists were created by Africans. The
There you go.
first known cosmetologists look like you and I.
Mm-hmm. Great. And I agree with that 100%. I did not want to get into an argument with that lady in the middle of the Bronner Brothers show.
Wow. And Brunner Brothers has never reached out. None of these corporations are reaching out on this level. Just like Strong McCall tried to take a piece of us from what we're
Yes.
doing. Everybody is going to take a piece of us. Now we have to decide if we're worthy enough to to take back our trillions, take back our hair, take back our identity. Are we strong enough? And if we're not, just pray to the ancestors to give you strength. Because they don't care about taking what you have and putting it on Target's billboard. They don't care about saying what they say at Bronner Brothers. Have Bronner Brothers brought us any money for the film you're doing, for the struggles that our women are going through in this country? The ladies in Tennessee, 30 of them fined $100,000 for braiding in their communities. Anybody standing up for the Black girls that rock? Where are the philanthropists? Where are the economists? Where are those that know economy, that know how to teach us how to be better with our money, with what we're doing? Where are you? I don't know. I just know that I didn't do anything wrong to go to jail. I didn't break any laws. The baby didn't do anything wrong wearing locks to school. Didn't break any laws. We're not breaking any laws. We're creating new laws. And that agency belongs to us.
I love it. I love it. I love everything that you're doing. And I thank you so much for that. I mean, and then despite everything, people try to take when they try to stifle, it's like we're always coming back. And the fact, once again, it's not easy standing up when everybody else is looking like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? So I commend you. I admire you so much for that because a lot of people say, oh, like some of the younger generation, they don't respect the older generation. It's not that. The thing is like a lot of us weren't shown the way, or we were kind of directed the wrong way. And
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? And you have someone here who's like, okay, no, this is wrong, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say something, and I'm going to make that sacrifice. And everybody doesn't do that. So I want to say thank you
And
for
thank
what you've
you.
done.
Oh, thank you for being my mirror. I thank you so much. This is our time. We clean house and we do more and stop complaining because it's nobody's fault. Don't play victim. We have all the genius inside of us, all the intelligence inside of us, all the creativity inside of us to make a new us.
Yes, there you
Yeah,
have it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely, I love it. I love it. Did you want to say anything about your more about your school or what you're working on and what's going on with you?
I want people to understand that it's important to support my school. I know we support Fidel Sassoon and Ogle and Tony and Guy and all of that, but I need your support. I want you to bring the children in for classes, just basic classes, 5 and up. I would love for you to register for my classes coming up. Anything you want to know, I don't want my people to be upset because other women are coming. I have a foster parent organization that's trying to learn to do melanated babies' hair. So I want us to look at this as we are winning. Our children need somebody to love their hair. Everybody's hair is not shake and go. Everybody's hair is not 3A, 3B. Everybody's hair is not 5A. Now, we haven't gotten to that yet, but the planet produces so many different strands of power, and we all need to be supporting the Institute of Ancestral Braiding so we can learn all about that. Our kids need to know that their hair is very, very sacred. They need to know it's okay to say, don't touch my hair. They need to know it's okay to say, I remember my daughter's in Duncanville years ago. She's 25 now. When she was in elementary school there, just for a brief minute, because I was moving around trying to organize my life and be more obedient. Her teacher allowed one of the students to tell my baby that she could not come into the classroom because she had beads in her hair. But what the baby was really saying was, I'm Caucasian. You look beautiful. I want that on me. That's really what she was saying. And I had to tell the teacher, oh no, we don't play that way. This is our culture. I need you to be more sensitive and more diverse in your consciousness. You can't tell my baby that she can't come inside a classroom. You should have checked the baby. They're just children. But that's what she was saying. And those type of things our kids endure every day. That's why Mother Earth had to say enough is enough. God had to say enough is enough. This planet said we are in universal shutdown. Time out. Time out for all of this extra stuff.
Yes.
Let's press replay. Let's replay, rebuild, restructure, go inside. We have an opportunity, y'all. 400 years have given us an opportunity to come together. And that's what I'm praying for the youth and the elders, the children and the fathers, everybody. The planet, they depend on us. They know we have the milk that's rich. They know that we have the nutrients. They know that we have the dance. They know we have the drums and the
Yes.
songs. It's our time. It's our time to shine.
Indeed. I would say anyone that's on the fence about doing something, it's time now. Like Isis just said, just do it. And Isis, people want to know, where can we follow you at? Can you use your website, your Instagram and Facebook and all of that?
Yes, ma'am. NaturallyIsis.com, naturallyisis@yahoo.com, and Instagram is naturallyisis. I need y'all. We need each other. You know, a good man is never honored in his own town. And that's
Mm,
why I give thanks and praise to the forerunners, those people who will never get a shine because nobody goes to the diamonds, go to the rough to find the diamonds. That's all we have to do is take time out for each other. Each one, reach one. Each one, lift one. That's what time it is.
there you go. You guys check out Isis at naturallyisis.com and then Instagram at naturallyisis as well. And then do your research on the House Bill 2717. She helped. If you are a braider in Texas, you definitely you need to thank this woman because she's the reason why you're able to braid without fear of being arrested or fined. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much, Isis, for your
You're
time.
welcome. Thank you.
And
Same
however,
to
yes, however we can support for sure. And then I will be posting some things up about the institute. Casey said, "Thank you for being so strong and inspirational."
Oh, I couldn't do it without you. I'm passing the baton, Ashanti. It is your time to kick the doors open. And we are going through the doors because we are remembering what we came for,
Indeed.
what your purpose is. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. You guys have a
Yes.
wonderful night and stay blessed. Check out Naturally Isis and her institute. God bless y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you,
God
Isis.
bless.
Bye. Mwah.